Hi guys, this is Victoria Henrietta. Welcome to the V Word Show. Today is a very exciting episode because I am able to do a review of Hustlers. Myself and my beautiful co-star Manal.
Hi guys.
We went today to watch it. Destiny, who is the main girl in the film, she finds J-Lo and says, you know, you're really good at this, I need some help. And J-Lo takes her under her wing and teaches her how to dance.
Front hook, ankle hook, knee hook. From here you can do the carousel.
So we're kind of following Destiny's journey through learning to strip and learning about the different kinds of men that come into the club. They talk
and just
about
the different type of tricks as well on how to trap the men and get their buy-in for you to then eventually be able to
take all their money.
Yeah.
Destiny and Ramona, which is J-Lo's character, they form like a really cool friendship. And then in 2008, there was like an economic crash. The Wall Street clients weren't coming into the club as much, weren't as many bodies through the door. We see a really low point for Destiny. This is when I was saying about my expectations of the film. I did think the film was going to be all about glorifying stripping. And whilst there are moments where it looks super glamorous, and I'm sure stripping is super glamorous at times, it was actually quite realistic with the darker side of the industry. So drugs, assaults.
Hurtful comments that men can make and just the way that they can make you feel as well.
So obviously these girls are in situations where sometimes they're not being treated well or they're not getting the money that they expected. But the film kind of ends off with the girls drugging men to get money, which escalates, and finally someone calls the police on them. Highlights of the film were sort of all the dancers at the start of the film. There was Cardi B, there was Lizzo,
Keke
Palmer. They all looked amazing. I mean, Lizzo is obviously a plus size artist and she looked great. She was wearing, you know, clothes that were as sexy as everyone else's. So I was really pleased for that. Also, the scene with J-Lo. She does a dance and it's amazing and she's just getting loads of money. Everyone's like, shh.
I think any move she made, anything she did, because she just looks, her body is just...
She's commanding, isn't she? And she's just like, rah, she's there, I'm in the room.
Yeah, like you just look at her.
Do you think that it glamorised stripping at all?
I think in the beginning of the movie it did. It showed you all the glitz and glamour of stripping and the money that it can bring in. But I think it balanced it out, but also showing you a bit of the dark side of the things that can go wrong and how you can be treated.
Really, they had a responsibility to keep it quite balanced so that young, you know, it's rated as a 15, so that young children aren't going out and thinking, oh my God, it's great, like I'm gonna be a stripper when I get older as well, because I think that would be just so dangerous, you know. Our kind of youth are already fed, you know, you need to have money, you need to have cars, you need to have a great body, you need to look perfect, like get your lips done, do this. So I do think they had a responsibility, especially with massive stars like J-Lo in it. People are looking up to you and I think they handled it quite well and it was actually quite tasteful, which it had plenty of room not to be tasteful and be vulgar. What did you think about the drugging of the men?
You know, if a man was doing that to a woman, we would be outraged. So I don't condone it, but in the movie, obviously, it was a bit funny how they did it and how they kind of lured them in, and all four of them would have their own little ways of engaging the man while the other one was kind of doing something behind his back.
Fairly recently, that video of Cardi B came out of her doing this. As wrong as it is, it's also just such a massive comment on society, like that people are driven to do these types of things. I wanted to talk about Constance Wu, who obviously is blowing up at the moment. She's gone from Crazy Rich Asians to this.
I think she did pretty well. She, in my opinion, was the best actress in the movie.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, she performed really well. I liked her storyline and just her as an actress in general. I find her funny, but she can be really sweet and
she plays some quite emotional scenes in the movie, you know, moments of real kind of self-pity or shame or feeling low, and I think she portrayed them really well, as well as those moments where there was like, you know, sisterhood and them having loads of fun and having a great time. I think she's a great actress and she looked great, she looks confident in her heels strutting around. I rate J-Lo as the top actress from the film. I think it's partly because we always see her in that like rom-com role. This showed real grit and it took it a little bit further, and you know, she sang about being Jenny from the block and stuff. I think she showed that actually she's in touch with that lifestyle in this movie because she played it so well.
Yeah, she did. She had her little, just that swagger.
Yeah, she definitely had a
Actually.
swagger and just a confidence, which is unreal. What would you say about Cardi's performance?
Yeah, she did all right. For it being her first movie, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did okay. Wasn't really much acting,
I mean,
obviously,
yeah, I
but-
think she kind of just played herself. Like,
Yeah.
she looks amazing, but Cardi was herself in the movie.
Yeah.
But did a great job.
She looked really good as well, yeah.
Yeah. And Keke Palmer as well, what did you think about her character?
Thought she did well, but I don't really think the role suited her. But maybe it's just because I've always seen her in little kid-like movies.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden she's stripping, drugging men. And so to
Yeah.
me, I was just like, whoa.
Yeah,
Like, that's
different.
a bit of a transition.
Yeah.
But she did well, obviously. Her acting skills were good. But
And good for her to do, to take the step and do something a bit more daring.
yeah, completely. I mean, I guess that's what being an actress is about.
Yeah, exactly, playing all the different
So she
roles.
can't always be that little cute little Keke Palmer.
Yeah. There's lots of buzz around the movie that perhaps it's Oscar worthy. What would you say? Do you think it could win an Oscar?
I think it was a nice movie, like good to go watch and have a bit of a laugh. But I don't think that it was on the level of a movie like The Help that received an Oscar.
I think for J-Lo, it's a good point in her career to do a big film like this. Her performance was really good, but I'm not quite sure if it's Oscar worthy. However, I think that the statement that the film is making is really powerful, and I think it'd be nice if it could win an Oscar, but I think maybe you're right that perhaps the storyline...
It was a nice storyline, but I don't think it was as
as punchy.
powerful and punchy as I thought it was going to be. I didn't leave the cinema
Like, wow.
like, oh my God, that was amazing, that was really good. It was just kind of like, okay.
So if you're going to give it a rating out of 10, what do you think you'd give it?
Like maybe a 5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's being generous, really.
Oh, wow. Ooh, okay. Huster's got a 5. I'm going for a 7. Can maybe be an 8 on a nice day. I think the acting was really good. I like the storyline. Ramona says motherhood is an illness. And, there's like lots of one-liners in there that make you think about life. And, that's true. Like for your kids, you'd do anything, even if it means, swinging around a pole.
Yeah.
Or drugging men for money. So I think the film was an excellent film. I would encourage people to go and watch it. I'd say it is worth a trip to the cinema. There's some great acting in there. You've got that performance from J-Lo. We get to see the real grit and determination and love from the women. This is Victoria Henrietta and Manal. Thank you very much for watching the V-Word show. Please do catch up with us for the next movie review.
I was born to flex, diamonds on my neck. I like boarding jets, I like more than sex, but nothing in this world, and I like more than checks.